Hello everybody, welcome to the fourth episode of France Tales from Ground Tales. Today we have with us our new guest, Mr. François Le Cardinal, a French professor and also an amateur connoisseur of wine and liquor. He will enlighten us today about the different kinds of wine, cider, and whiskies that are found in France, along with champagne, which I guess most of you know, and how they are made, what is his favorite, how did he have an interest in, becoming an amateur connoisseur, and some more things that we don't generally know about wine because we just concentrate on Bordeaux and Champagne. But today we are going to learn a lot more about the different regions that produce another kind of wines and ciders, which are less known but are more tasty. And this I say after having tasted from Francois' collection. Let us hear from the master himself. Welcome, Francois.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so my first question to you is, how did your interest in wine start? Like as a kid, did you were you interested in it from the starting, or did you develop the taste for it?
I think I tasted my first wine when I was 11, and after that my father introduced me in this domain, but I learned by myself the most of things what I know. I learned by myself.
Yeah, so you tried and tested a lot
Yeah, with friends or in restaurants. I am still interested for new wines, for new regions, and I bought some books about this thema, and I learn by myself the most part.
Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so I have seen your collection. So, do you have an approximate idea from which all regions do you have the different kinds of liquor, and how many bottles would you have approximately?
I have approximately 300 bottles, 350, I think, but 300 bottles of wine and 50 bottles of brandy or liquor. I have wine from each part of the world, but the most part is from France. It's normal because I am French, and but I have also 20 bottles from Italy, 10 bottles from Switzerland or from Germany, and a few bottles from Croatia, Albania, Greece, other parts of Europe, and but I don't know. I have one wine from Australia, I think, one wine from South Africa, and but I am not specialist of the wine that are too far away. And the liquor, the brandies, I have many kinds of liquor and brandy.
That's wonderful. 300 bottles is nice. Okay, so this is like a basic question. What is the difference between the preparation of wine, cider, champagne, whiskey, cognac?
It's very different because whiskey is distillation of cereal, and Calvados brandies are came also from distillation. Cider and wine come from fermentation, and the wine is made with grapes, and cider is made with apples. They are very different. The common point is only that it contains alcohol, but they are very different.
Okay, and what was the kind of cider that is prepared with pears that you told me?
The name is poiré. Poiré, but it's like cider. The apples or the pears juice fermented.
Yes.
And it's the same preparation, but it's rarer because in Normandy, for example, we produce more cider than poiré. Poiré is produced only on parts of Normandy like Donfront. It's not so popular.
Okay. All right. Then my next question is, okay, yes, like you said, Normandy is famous for what and why? In Normandy, the region of Normandy, what is it famous for?
Normandy is famous for cider and all the produce from apple, because we produce cider, poiré, like I thought, and pommeau. Pommeau is a mixed beverage with cider and Calvados, and we are also famous for this brandy, whose name is Calvados, a distillation of juice of apple juice. But we don't produce wine except in a little city near the city of Falaise, but it is an exception.
Okay, so I guess it is because of the climate here that it is more suitable for apples.
Yeah. The climate is not adapted to produce wine. Only when the weather will be warmer, in 50 years maybe we will produce wine, but actually we don't produce.
Right, it is mostly like towards the south of France, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
The limit is Champagne. Champagne is near the north limit of production of wine.
Okay. And also, yes, please tell me the difference between champagne and grape wine that you told.
But champagne is made with three grapes, different grapes: Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. Usually, the wine is produced with the three kinds of grape. But the other wines are made with one or more, or two or three or four kinds of grapes. For example, Bordeaux wine is made with Cabernet and Merlot, or only with Merlot, or only with Cabernet Franc. It depends.
Okay, so basically the difference is in the kind of grapes which is used.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, and if you can, yes, this is like from your personal collection. If you can tell me about the costliest wine that you have purchased, and the oldest wine that you have, and the most delicious that you think.
Mm-hmm. I had a bottle of Bordeaux. Mouton Rothschild is very famous, and it was very expensive. but I bought a bottle from the year 1997. It was not a great year, so I could buy it 3 or 4 years after 1997, and we drank it on the birthday of my oldest son, on the 30th birthday of my oldest son, and he looks the price of the bottle, and I saw 700 euro. The oldest one was a Spanish one, a Spanish wine, 1967, but it was too old, and I don't think it's good to store the wine too long, because it can be we can appreciate a wine if the wine is not stored in good conditions, and I think after 20 years it is too much. In the restaurants they have cellar with the same temperature, but I have a good cellar, but the temperature change with the weather, and it's not so good for the wine. Okay. And the wine that I prefer, I don't know. I think I would prefer the wine from the Côte du Rhône, because it's not so expensive, and you can find very good bottles.
Okay. So unlike the popular belief that wine only gets better with age, it's not true if it is not stored at the right temperature. Okay. Okay, and why is wine such a great part of the French culture?
I think it goes with the gastronomy. We drink wine with the food. We are not so famous for beer, for chai or for tea, and we like wine. I think the Roman introduced the wine in our country, and we drink wine like other Mediterranean peoples, like Italians, Spanish, or the other, and because the Roman appreciated wine.
Okay, so it just it became a part of the culture gradually. I mean, through time, it just imbibed. Okay, and yes, again, coming from somebody who knows very little about wine, actually nothing. So please tell me, what is the proper way of drinking wine?
You for red wine, you have to take the bottle one day before you have dinner, because the wine have to be oxygenized, and you have to open the bottle 3-4 hours for the dinner, before the dinner, because if you don't process like this, the wine is closed. He doesn't develop the perfume, and but for white wines it doesn't matter. You can open the wines few minutes for the dinner, and for champagne too. Champagne has to be cold. It is the only condition. You can't drink warm champagne. It is a scandal.
Okay, and is there also something like the same for cider, that you have to drink it cold, or
Well, cider, we drink cider if it is cold too. It's but you can open the bottle direct for the dinner. It's like champagne. Cider, it's like champagne.
Okay. All right, and now just like the last question, which is the kind of liquor that you absolutely like, and one that you absolutely do not like.
Well, as Norman, I think I prefer a Calvados because it's our brandy for our region, but I like a good cognac too, a good rum too. A good whiskey too. I appreciate brandies from Pear, from Mirabelle, from other fruit too. The only one that I don't appreciate is the brandy that are bitter. From flour or so. Aquavit is not terrible. It's not terrific too. But I tasted many kinds of liquor or brandy. If they are good made. I like it.
Okay, and yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask this one. Apart from the known regions like Bordeaux and Champagne, what are the other regions which produce good quality liquor, wine, cider, anything else?
But we thought about cognac.
Mm-hmm.
Cognac is a little region in the southwest of France, but. For wines, I would say the Loire wines along the river Loire and Côte du Rhône along the river Rhône. They are very different, very interesting. In the south of France, between Perpignan and Montpellier, Languedoc is a good region for to produce wine too. You can find all what you wish in these countries.
All right. Thank you so much, Francois, for that enlightening session. It was very nice to talk to you.
You are welcome.
Okay. Is there something like if you would like to add a passing note to the listeners?
Yes, but I am very proud to explain something about wine, and I thank you, Chuchita, for the interview. It was very funny for me.
Thank you so much, Francois. Okay, so that was Francois telling us about a number of French liquors. I hope you enjoyed this session as I did, and I hope to see you next time with another interesting episode of French Tales. To show us your love, please like and subscribe to our channel. Bye bye. Au revoir.